How you guys doing? This Mike back with the thought of the day, July 9th, 2024. First, I want to give honor and praise to Haya Shua Haya, Bashem Yeshaya and Rawakadash. That's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. Then I like to open with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. May your will, not mine, be done. Today I want to talk about the chapter in the AA Big Book that changed my life. That changed my life. My second time in rehab, the chapter is called More About Alcoholism. And my second time in rehab, out of desperation, I opened the AA book for the first time. The first time I went in rehab, I didn't open the book, and it cost me. The second time I went, I opened it out of desperation, and the first couple chapters I couldn't really comprehend because I'm coming out of detox. But when I got to this chapter, it immediately resonated with me, and that's when I knew like I had a problem. And I suggest that anybody that might think they have a problem or know somebody that have a problem, have them read this chapter in this book. And if you can identify with some of the things in there, then you might be in that class of being alcoholic. Okay, I'm going to start reading. Chapter 3, More About Alcoholism. Most of us have been unwilling to admit we were real alcoholics. No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally different from his fellows. Therefore, it is not surprising that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like other people. The ideal of someday he will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker. The persistence of this illusion is astonishing. Many pursue it to the gates of insanity or death. We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics. This is the first step in recovery. This delusion that we are like other people, or presently may be, has to be smashed. We alcoholics are men and women who have lost their ability to control our drinking. We know that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. All of us felt at times that we were regaining control, but such intervals, usually brief, were inevitably followed by still less control, which led in time to pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. We are convinced to a man that alcoholics of our type are in the grip of a progressive illness. Over any considered period, we get worse, never better. We are like men who have lost their legs. They never grow new ones. Neither does there appear to be any kind of treatment which will make alcoholics of our kind like other men. We try every imaginable remedy. In some instances, there have been brief recovery, followed by always a still worse relapse. Physicians who are familiar with alcoholism agree there is no such thing as making a normal drinker out of an alcoholic. Science may one day accomplish this, but it still hasn't done so yet. Despite all we can say, many who are real alcoholics are not going to believe that they are in that class. By every form of self-deception and experimentation, they will try to prove themselves exceptions to the rule, therefore non-alcoholic. If anyone who is showing an inability to control his drinking can do the right bow face and drink like a gentleman, our hats are off to him. Heaven knows we have tried enough and long enough to drink like other people. Here are some of the methods we have tried. Drinking beer only, limiting the number of drinks, never drinking alone, never drinking in the morning, drinking only at home, never having it in the house, never drinking during business hours, drinking only at parties, switching from scotch to brandy, drinking only natural wines, agreeing to resign if ever drunk on the job, taking a trip, not taking a trip, swearing off forever with or without a solemn oath, taking more physical exercise, reading inspirational books, going to health forums and sanitariums, accepting voluntary commitment to asylums, which is like rehabs now. We could increase the list to infinitum. We do not like to pronounce any individual as alcoholic, but you can quickly diagnose yourself. Step over to the nearest bar room and try some controlled drinking. Try to drink and stop abruptly. Try it more than once. It will not take long for you to decide if you're honest with yourself about it. It may be worth a bad case of jitters if you get a full knowledge of your condition. Though there is no way of proving it, we believe that early in our drinking careers, most of us could have stopped drinking. But the difficulty is that few alcoholics have enough desire to stop while there is yet time. We have heard of few instances where people who show definite signs of alcoholism were able to stop for a long period because of the overpowering desire to do so. Here is one. And I get into the next person tomorrow and read his thing, but I want to talk about this, what I just read today. He said early that, like, the grips that this thing has on you, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's no joke. That's why, like, he said the every person will desire to be able to once again drink like our fellows. And I can remember going out and drinking and knowing that I had a problem, but I still wanted to take it back to like it was before, and I thought that it wouldn't lead to the same thing that it was the night before, and then it always did the same thing. And my mind would always tell me, like, it's going to go back to like it was when you first started. It's going to be fun. It's going to be doing this and doing that. And even if I was out with my friends and stuff like that drinking, when I got home, I still had to drink more, and it ended up being a bad night. It ended up with me passing out drunk or things of that nature. But that's the sign of the disease. It keeps you thinking in your head that it's going to be like it was before. And we keep trying to replay the old days. We keep trying to think that we can beat this thing. You know what I'm saying? Me being an athlete and being competitive, that kind of worked against me, because I thought that since I conquered every other thing in life, that I'd be able to conquer this thing. I can't let this thing called alcohol beat me. But in the end, it still did. You get what I'm saying? And that's what made things kind of tough, having to really admit and concede in my heart that I was an alcoholic, man. Then it went to the part of talking about all the different things that we did. And I tried all that different stuff, man. Changed from white liquor to dark liquor. You know what I'm saying? Changed from dark liquor to white liquor, saying, yo, I act different when I'm on the dark liquor. I was never a beer drinker, but I did try to just drink a couple beers. I definitely tried the wine thing. I'm only going to drink wine. I'm not going to drink hard liquor. And then eventually I started putting the hard liquor inside the wine. I started putting some vodka and stuff like that in my sangria. You know what I'm saying? And then I started getting frustrated because all the wine did was make me have to go to the bathroom. Then I was thinking about, all right, I'm not going to drink until I go on vacation. And that's gonna solve something. And that didn't solve nothing either. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this chapter touched on so many different things, because it when you really look at it and you go all the way through it, it hits on so many different points that if you have this disease, you're going to be able to identify with the disease. You get what I'm saying? And you're going to be able to identify with what they're talking about in this book, man. And we never get better. Like they told me when I left rehab the first time that I was drinking a little over a pint a day, and they told me that if I didn't stop when I came back, I was going to be drinking twice as much. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me for a minute. They cutting some grass outside, but they said that I'll be drinking twice as much. You know what I mean? And I laughed at them and said that wasn't going to happen. But when I came back 4 years later, I was drinking more than a fifth a day. You know what I'm saying? So what they said was definitely true, man. And it never gets better, man. And just this book is called AA Big Book. It's a blue book. And you could get it. You could order it online. Or if you go to any meetings, you could definitely get this book. And they tell you, man, if you really want to see if you have a problem, go to a bar, sit down. And most people, they say, if you drink 2 drinks, it'll be your test. You drink 2 drinks, take 2 shots or drink 2 drinks. And if your body crave more, then most likely you might have a problem, or you might be on your way to a problem. But if you drink those 2 drinks and you could get up and walk away and you don't desire no more, then you should be okay. You know what I'm saying? But if your body desires more, then chances are you might have an issue on your hands. You know what I mean? And that's the true test when you go sit down and you try to take those drinks. You know what I'm saying? So this is Mike. Enjoy your day. Shalom.